Hello, Vanange. Welcome to the Revolutionary Spa. Welcome. Of course, as most of you know me, my name is Sophia Sebi. Nze host wa new show ya Revolutionary Spa at UNN TV. Welcome to the show. First of all, njagala kubebaza okubeerako ate most importantly okusaba ekisonyiwo for our lateness, or for my lateness should I say. Kwegamba, being a parent is not easy, and at that, being a single parent. So welcome. Kansubire mugenda jinyumirwa, kansubire mulina ekyokuyigamu, nange mulina kyemunjigiriza. I'll be looking at the comments. I'll be hoping ntino tugenda kweyigiriza something about ourselves. Naye okutandikira ddala njagala kubabuulira why the reason for this revolutionary spa in the first place. Revolutionary spa eno mbadde njirowoozaako nnyo sheno for a long time. Name preparing as much as possible. You cannot prepare enough. So, sheno eriwo for one purpose. And one purpose is this. Njagala kuba nti nsobola to get in your heads or to get in your minds. Njagala okuba nti no ffenna twetunuulira mu buntu bwaffe. Gwe ng'omuntu gy'oli ali mu revolution eno, weetunuulire nti ki kye nsobola okukola nze ng'omuntu. Of course, show zonna eziri ku UNN tulowooza it's about talking about someone else. Twogera ku someone else, twogera ku Uganda as a whole. Naye tetwogera ku nga gwe omuntu ki ky'olowooza ekikusiba to be able to achieve more than you are achieving now. Omuntu oyinza okugamba nti naye lwaki tuli ku kino ekya mindset mu revolution eno, lwaki oleese kino ku UNN TV. UNN TV is an education platform. It inspires, it motivates, and it's transformational. So eyagala to transforminga ffenna abantu nga gwe wooli ne community ne society yaffe nga Ugandans. So this is the reason why when I lowooza nti this particular topic about our mindset, it is so important. It's very key that we understand that tumanya dwaki to behaving the way we do. Dwaki abantu tuyina empisa ze tuyina. Oyinza okuba oyina empisa ennungi, oyinza okuba nga maybe toyina mpisa nnungi. Oyinza okuba oyina habits, ebikolwa ebyenjawulo. Ffenna tuyina ebikolwa ebyenjawulo, naye lwaki tuyina bino ebikolwa ebyenjawulo? So ngenda kutandika, of course, nga mbaleetera this topic is around psychological and philosophical thinking. Bwe njibaleetera sigamba nti nze mmanyi byonna. Naye kye ŋŋamba nti no mulowoozeemu lwaki tetulowooza mu a certain way oba different perspective to what we have been brought up thinking. Kye tubadde kwegamba tukuziddwa nga tukola. Isn't it about time that we thought about a different way of thinking? We thought about different perspectives. Nga bwe tumanyi UNN bwe yatujja mu kintu kye twalimu muno late 2020 nga tumaze campaigns, nga tumaze elections ziwedde, nga okulayira kuwedde. I'm sure ffenna twa getting at a point where we got stranded. Nga tetumanyi kiki kye tugenda okukola. Tubadde ne so much emotions from the heat of campaigns. Naye kati gw'olowooza ki nga gwe omuntu ki ky'okozeewo ogamba nti no ogenda ku revolutionizing your mindset. kubanga obwongo buno, which is the mindset, obwongo butuyamba mu bintu bingi nnyo. Buli kimu ky'okola, buli kimu oba oyagala oba toyagala, bw'oba tolina bwongo era ekiddamu nti nno ojja kuba oli awo oli hopeless. Kati njagala nnyo okuba nti nno by introducing this topic, I'm hoping nti nno ndowooza nti mujja kuba mulina kye muyigamu. Ndowooza nti nange nja kuba nnyina kye mbayigako. Of course mbayizeeko bingi abatulaba ku UNN. And in addition to that, njagala kubagamba tuli ku mikutu gyaffe gyonna, tuli ku Facebook. Era Facebook, hello, hi, how are you doing? Abali ku YouTube, mwena, how are you doing? Abali ku Twitter, how are you all doing? I wish you a really wonderful night. Good evening to where you are. Good afternoon. Good morning. I wish you a very eventful, hopefully, evening or eventful night or morning or day, wherever you are. Kansubire nti nno eno program ojja kubanga olina ky'oyigamu. Nange hopefully mbenga nina kye mbayigako to improve on how I can deliver a message that's clear, message eri very clear to you, woolaba mu bulamu bwo wogenda okugitwala further. Tugenda kuba wano for 1 hour exactly. Ate nga sigenda kubanga nziramu bintu byonna, maybe Prince Chimbugwe byaddamu, maybe The Tower byaddamu, maybe Serenabs byaddamu ebya Glory. Some of them would be similar. Sigenda kuddamu maybe this and that byaddamu. Naye njagala kubaleetera a new program which is about you. Revolutionary Spa is about you, the person. How can you change your habits? Osobola otya okukyusa embeera zo, osobola otya okukyusa nga bw'okola ebintu byo kati nga bw'oli, okuba nti osobola obikola in a much better way, maybe a more improved way. More than anything, it's not even better, naye improved way of thinking. Bwe tuba tugenda mu revolution for Uganda, I so believe, nze nsuubira nti nno tulina okukyusa embeera zaffe ng'abantu. Naye nga tetunnaba kukyusa mbeera zaffe ng'abantu, tulina okumanya lwaki omuntu obanga obehavinga the way you do. Ngenda kutabula Oluganda n'Oluzungu, so forgive me abatawulira bulungi Luzungu, naye nga nange Oluganda luba luntawanyamu okulwogera bulungi nnyo ne ndukattiriza. So as we start our program, welcome and welcome to the Revolutionary Spa. And the Revolutionary Spa is about revolutionary self-purposeful action. That is what the SPA stands for. Kale, welcome back. So tugenda kutandika ne our first I have a PowerPoint here. Tugenda kutandika nga mbannyonnyola about our mindset. Mindset yaffe etegeeza ki? What is our mind? What is it about? What is it? So come, sabe producer. Okay, so what is our mind? What is it? And why is it important? So bwe tuba tudda mu psychology, there's a psychological thought or psychoanalytic thought. Producer, if we go to slide 2, there's a psychological thought and a psychological thinking theory. Egamba nti nno, we have about 3 levels. Tulina 3 levels eza mind. our mind. So 3 levels zino eza mind ziri about your conscious mind, obwongo buno bw'obeera okozesa buli lunaku, obwongo bw'osobola okumanya nti kino nkikoze nga ntegeera. Then ne tubeera ne second level eri about subconscious. Subconscious eno eri about ebintu by'okola ng'oli mu autopilot. Katugambe nti no oba wayiga okuvuga emmotoka naye kati tokyetaaga kulookinga mu mani okugamba nti no, kutunula mu mani okugamba nti no, kati nyina okutunula wano okumanya nti ngenda left oba indicator. Eyo subconscious mind eri very important when it comes to our psychological theories ne psychoanalytic theories. So if I'm when I say, why is our mind important in the revolution? Ntegeeza nti lwaki obwongo bwaffe buli kintu kya makulu nnyo mu revolution eno gye tulimu. Kiri important kubanga obwongo bwe bukubeezaawo byonna by'okola. Osooka kulowooza n'olyoka ogamba nti kankole ekintu kino ne kiri. So one of the quotes I've just got from one Michael Bassey Johnson, the book of Maxims, Poems and Anecdotes, agamba nti take care of your heart and your mind, for they are like a garden, and nothing good thrives in a garden full of weeds. Ategeeza ki? Kyategeeza nti no, mind yo gikuume bulungi nga bw'onookuuma ennimiro. Kangezeeko. Bw'oba ennimiro yo togirabirira, bw'oba ennimiro yo togifukirira mazzi, bw'oba tojjaamu weeds ezo eziteetaagisa, ogamba by'olima bigenda kukula biveemu bulungi, era bigenda kuvaamu maybe obuntu butono nnyo bwe buti, let's say nti olima kasooli, agenda kuvaamu bukasooli butono nnyo bwe buti, naye ng'ate bw'owandibadde ogirabirira, ogiteekamu manure, ogifukirira amazzi when you have to, eri exposed to the sun, it means that egenda kuthrivinga. It means that ebibala by'ojjamu bigenda kuba amazingly good, nutritious. So your mind is exactly the same way. Just give me 1 second, please. We're going to go quickly in a quick advert break. Tugenda komao, just give me about 2 minutes. So kansabe producer atuteke mu a quick break, please. Then komewo.
Good evening, Ugandans. Good evening, Africans. Good evening, women and men and the youth. Young, old, full of wisdom. Good evening, African. I just want, every time I see any pictures from Uganda, any videos from Uganda that are of torture, barbaric actions, inhumane treatment, I am just overwhelmed. I am angry. I am frustrated. I am completely motionless. I am lost for words, but I am also inspired. I'm inspired to write. I'm inspired to put my feelings from head to paper. I'm inspired to tell you exactly how I feel at this moment, in this moment. I am being present. Therefore, my fellow Ugandans, my fellow Africans, my fellow human beings of the world, please listen, be present, and understand the plight of the Ugandans. No, we do not want for you to feel sorry for the Ugandans, but we want action. We want action. And I'm hoping that these words from the bottom of my heart, without script, I do hope that these words from the bottom of my heart will help you understand the plight of the many Ugandans who are back on Ugandan soil and are experiencing the torture, are experiencing this barbaric treatment, are experiencing the most inhumane. It's almost like as if we're back over 100 years ago in the times of enslavement or slavery or colonialism. But no, we say no, we will not be slaves. Ugandan lives matter. Every Ugandan life matters. Brothers and sisters.
Let's pull resources, open the center.
Hello, Banange, welcome back. And I'm hoping that muli ready, I'm hoping to learn. Kale ekira kyembadde ndowoozaako actually nga tugenze mu kabreak ako mbadde ndowoozaako nti nno omanyi nga mulangira page bwe yatugamba okuba nti nno tulekeraawo okulamentinga, tulekeraawo complaininga, tulekeraawo okudda maybe mu kukaaba, naye kati tudda mu kweyubula. And this is the reason lwaki ndi ku UNN. This is the reason lwaki ndeese program eno. So nga tuddayo ku program yaffe, mbadde mbagamba nti no, our mind is very important. Our mind is one of the best or the most important organ on our body. It is very, very important. So tugikozese bulungi. Bw'oba tokozesa bwongo obwo bulungi, era ogenda kuba ng'ofuna substandard, ogenda kuba ng'ofuna inadequate, ogenda kuba ng'ofuna not so good results in your life. Kijjirawa ku revolution gye tulimu era kijjirawa ku UNN. Kiri very important kubanga buli kimu kye tukola tusooka kulowooza, tukozesa obwongo bwaffe, tulyoke tusobole okuba nti no tudda mu kintu nga UFCC ne tuteesa. Negwe bw'obanga obwongo bwo oba your mind is not at peace, mind yo bweba teri at peace, mind yo bweba teri organized, era tolina kyogenda kubanga oteesa, era tugenda kuddayo mu kintu kye tulimu kati okuba nti no tuyina abakulembeze abatukyujjanya, tuyina abakulembeze aba feeling nti bali entitled, tuyina abakulembeze abatamanyi what is to be of service. What does leadership mean? Oba muntegeera? So njagala okuba nti no ekintu kino tukyogerako, njagala okuba nti ffenna to understanding mind yaffe, how powerful our mind is, how powerful our mind is in making every decision we make in our lives. Kale katugende ku the next slide. Nga bwe mbagambye, why is our mind important in the revolution? Kyetukyaliko. So nendabayo quotes zino nendowooza nti no, they really encapsulate or ziwumba ekintu kyentegeezaako okutegeeza. Kati ono Evita Ochero agamba, until you realize how easy it is for your mind to be manipulated, you remain the puppet of someone else's game. Mpaka ng'otegedde obwongo bwo bwe busobola okuba nti no buzanyisizibwa oba babukyusa mangu, ojja kusigala nga oli obwo bugundi babuyita batya, bu puppets bwe bakosa mu nsonyiwe okuba obwo bu puppets bwe bakola nga oli ku strings, babuyita batya mu Luganda bambi mu nsonyiwe sibumanyi bulungi naye ojja kusigala ng'oli oba ku ndingidi oba oli awo ng'omuntu ajja kuba ng'akuzanyisa mizannyo. Kati example, bannayuganda babamanyi nti no ffe twagala kubeera okuseka kubanga tetulina mulamwa gwe tuliko, tuli mu bibaalabaala, tuli mu bicomedy store. Buli kimu is a joke. Buli kimu bwe kiba joke, then how is it that you expect different results naye nga gwe your behavior contributes to the joke? So obwongo buno buli very powerful and buli important in every individual's life. Oyina okubukwatanga, with like a precious metal. You have to handle it very carefully. Kikyoteka mu bwongo bwo ekigenda okujja mu mbeera. Kikyofeedinga obwongo buno. Okifeedinga bintu bitalina magezi makulu, ebintu ebitakuzimba, oba okifeedinga what is building you up to make you a peak performer. What is it in your life that is going on, that you are doing? What are your habits that are going to completely change the way you think, change the way you carry yourself, change the way you move around with confidence and be an amazing performer? How are you going to perform the best you can at when it comes to UFCC? You've been talking the talk and saying, what are you doing about it? No, tewali agenda kukolera kintu kyoyagala kukolera. You need to stand up, stand strong, straight. Know what you're talking about. What are you feeding your mind? Are you feeding your mind rubbish? Are you on every Facebook page? Are you following every rubbish that you need to follow? You think that you need to follow and you're not following quality. And how do you know what you're following is quality? Because it is building you up. Ekuyigiriza ekintu kyogamba nange kangende finding out, what am I going to be learning? How can I do a bit of more research from what I am being exposed to here? Is it building on how I change my habits, my behavior? Another quote goes, I'm not sure who quoted it, but I know it sticks in my mind all the time. If you want to keep a man a slave or in slavery, first corrupt his mind. Era bw'olaba what we're being exposed to in the Ugandan society, kuliao kubeera mbiduuka, kubeera how do you call these, mu bimansulo, kubeerawo mu gossip, and you're not really building your life. You're not guarding your mind. Anyway, nga nkyabadzaayo, twabadde tulina 3 levels of the mind. It was conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious, or ego. Unconscious mind, bino ebintu byetumanyi byetukola buli kiseera. Ng'okitegeera omanyi intentionally you're doing something. Subconscious is something that is so deep in your brain or in your mind that you're not aware of. Naye ng'ekyo ekintu tokimanyi nti okikola, naye ng'okikola nga bwe mbagambye, obeera ku autopilot, nga okuvuga emmotoka oba ovuga gaali oba oyina ebintu ebirala byokola, some behaviors byokola nga biri automatic all the time. Yeah, your subconscious mind. Producer, if you could go to the next slide, please. So nga bw'olaba wano, what is it? Conscious mind eno ebintu byetukola bulijjo wano biri about analyzing things. It thinks and plans. Nobeera ne short-term memory. then nojja ku subconscious mind, or usually the bagiyita ne unconscious mind, eri about 90% of everything we think about, everything that we do on autopilot. 90%. Imagine oyina ebitundu 100 naye ebitundu 10 ku 100 ebintu byokola ng'otegeera biri 10. Ebitundu 9 ku 100 ebintu byokola biri on autopilot, which means totally conscious about the things that you're doing 90% of the time. Imagine that. So bw'obanga it's 90% of the time tetumanyi kyetuliko nga tekiri intentional, tekiri purposeful at all, nga gwokola bukozi bintu, how, if you're not conscious about the things you do, it means ogenda taking up much longer to understand things, much longer to analyze. Nga bwe mulaba Uganda community yaffe as 90%, I think, bali ku autopilot. Thankfully, UNN TV yajja, ntino. At least you are all here on UNN TV watching me now. At least mutandise okubeera ku, to bring the unconscious things to your conscious mind. Okuba nti no musobola okukola ki, okulowooza ebintu ne mugamba nedda sijja kugoberera bino, nja kugoberera bino. You're intentionally, purposefully doing that so that you know better. If you know better, you do better. Bw'oba tomanyi kyokola kibi, ate ogenda kikyusa otya? Naye bw'oba omanyi kyokola nga tekikutwala gy'oyagala kugenda, okyusaamu. Kati kyekino kye tuliko nti UNN tuli mu kukyusaamu, tewali kudda mabega. Tukyusaamu kubanga tumanyi better. How on earth would you have known about spirituality, Mulangira Page, Mulangira Chimbugwe, Mrs. Wamala, Sarah Nabs, Dr. Juko, Desire? How would you, Masolo Frank, how would they be able to come? And because they being conscious about what they're doing, they're being intentional, ntibagala okuyigiriza community, kangende nkole research, kanzije mbulira abantu ebintu bye ndowooza nti basobola okuyigamu. Nammwe mmenna abali mu comments bannange mukoze omulimu gw'amaanyi. You're here for a reason. It was not by accident. So producer, if you could go on the next slide, but before you go, actually, wait a second. So njagala kubanyola the subconscious mind, why it's very important. Of course, to in a conscious mind, in a 10%. 10% eyo gye tukolera mu buli kiseera. Naye imagine tino tufunye 10% from the 90%, tujongedde ku 20%. Tujongedde ku 10%, oba ebitundu 10 ku 100. Olowooza how much more amazingly you can perform by being conscious and intentional about the things that you do in your everyday life. Oba oli ku mulimo, oba family, oba relationship, oba parenting, oba oyagala kwesomesa a new craft, oba oyagala kuyiga English. Why not? Why can't you do that? Lwaki tosobola kikola? Tolinda muntu mulala akugambe nga bwe tulabye Uganda yaffe bweri, tubadde tulinda abakulembeze bo batutwale gye baagala. Imagine that, nti omuntu bw'omulekera akutwale yonna gy'ayagala, ajja kutwala yonna gy'ayagala, kubanga your mind is manipulatable. Your mind is that elastic that it can pull as far as it can be pulled in many ways. That's why you see kyetuba tuli mu situation eno gye tulimu as a Ugandan society, as a Ugandan community. So when I talk about the subconscious mind, it is very important. Ntino we do whatever we need to do intentionally, purposefully. We pull the subconscious mind, ebintu ebiri mu subconscious yaffe, ne tubijjayo ne bijja into our conscious. So long-term memory, emotions and feelings, habit patterns, nga bwe nabagambye ebikolwa, enkola y'ebintu, relationships zaffe, lwaki weesanga nti no oli mu relationship oba mu kwagalana nga oddamu omuntu gwe wavuddeko behaviours ze era n'oziddamu n'omuntu gw'osanze omupya. Waliwo tulina addictions ezo, oba oli addicted to alcohol, oba oli addicted to drugs, oba that is all things of our subconscious, involuntary bodily functions, creativity. So the key one, number 5, chinecha creativity. Until we tap into our subconscious mind, our creativity teriwo. And that's how my observation mu Ugandan community, ntino we're not as creative as we should be. I'm saying this because sagala offending anyone. That is not the point of this program, not at all. Njagala kuba ntino to bringing all the things that are limiting us, ebintu ebitatukiriza kugenda ku level endala eyo erowooza much higher than we are currently thinking. Boloza kuchindunga creativity eri about how do we do things differently. For instance, waliwo relatives, I'm sure mwenna muyina ba relatives bamwe bemulowooza naye ono nja kukuwa sente from January to December mpaka ddi. Nobeera nga ofeedinga abaana, ofeedinga family yonna, ofeedinga obaweereza school fees, gw'obambaza, gw'obawa emmere y'obulinnaku, tewali muntu alowooza nti kale maybe waliwo naye nga okulowooza okwo kutono nnyo. Ogamba nti no, how can we be creative until we stop begging? Can we please use our land? Lwaki tetukozesa ettaka lyaffe lye tuyina ne tugamba kati creating mbewali n'akalimiro ate oba tuyina ettaka. Uganda is one of the richest continents on earth. Kubanga we have natural resources. Tuyina water bodies eziri fresh. We don't need to add anything to it before kulabirira ennimiro zaffe. Naye omuntu n'atabeera na vegetable patch, ebintu era ayagala kubigula mu katale, naye ng'alina about 3 plots of land and they're all doing nothing. Buli kimu twagala kukigula mu dduuka, oba omuntu ayagala era omuntu ow'ebweru ali mu diaspora muweereze essente agule emmere. Naye lwaki oba tosobola kulima cabbage, lwaki oba tosobola kulima butungulu oba nnyaanya eziri home consumption? What is wrong with us? Lwaki tetusobola kugula bintu ebyo? Why can't we get into the land ne tutandika okulima ebintu ebyo ebitono ebiri home consumption? Tetugambye kubitunda kubanga of course we know nti no economic environment ye Uganda ne tewali market ye ebeera egenda kugaggawaza ng'otu agriculture, kubanga agriculture they've stopped it. Bagirinyamu nti abantu abamanyi ku government, abantu abali mu buyinza bokka be balina market be basobola okutunda ebirime byabwe. Naye temufa njala kubanga olinze someone else to send you mobile money, please. So wetugamba developmental stages zezino ezigamba nti no from 0 to 7 years old, this is what you're expected to do. From 7 to 14 or 15, this is what you're expected to do. From 7 to something like 15. Then from 16 to about 21, this is what you're expected to do. From 21 to about 30, that's exactly what you're expected to do. These are just psychological perspectives that explain the way we behave. Why do we behave the way we behave? And I'm thinking and I'm very strong at thinking, ntino Uganda tuli society eri stunted. Psychologically tuli a stunted society, and that leaves us with this whole hopelessness. Jumping up from one place to another in terms of Facebook, who we follow, who we call our leaders, and us accepting those leaders, the bad leaders, to actually lead us 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Netwagala someone else, something else from outside of ourselves. Chijecho chitunule. How? You as a person, you need to look inside yourself. Change is within, not from outside. So take care of your mind. Your mind, read about conscious mind and subconscious mind. Ebintu byonna byembaletedde wano biri ku internet, tewali kintu kiri hidden anywhere. It's psychological perspective, which was brought by Sigmund Freud, an Austrian psychoanalyst. During the Second World War, na developing a theory ne agezeeko explaining lwaki abantu tukola ebintu bye tukola. Ate that all came from these world wars. Why are people behaving the way they do? Why is it nti abantu bo batocharinga abantu? Bakiyigira wakubanga they were not born as torturers. They were not born as bad people. But their environment created, and they were exposed to these things over and over and over. Ngabolaba propaganda exposing, ngabolaba, COVID. No labanga batu exposing to death, high numbers of death going up. What does that do to your brain? There's something. It's all intentional. It's all purposeful to manipulate your brain. Okuje endowooza yo ku kintu ekiri normal to the abnormal, and then you start notandika okukkiriza ebintu ebiri abnormal. Kale bwe katuyiteite mangu kubanga ndi wano for only about an hour. Katugende ku next slide, please. So nga bwe mbagambye, the role of our mind, why is it important? Nga bwe mbagambye, most of us operate within 10% of 100%. Tulowooleza only to endowooza yaffe eri only bitundu 10 ku 100. Na byebintu byetukola ki byetumanyi byetukola, naye ebintu byetutamanyi ng'ebiri ku autopilot biri bitundu 9 ku 100. Okay, which is the subconscious and unconscious mind. So ebintu byonna ebiri mu subconscious and unconscious mind is about things of our childhood. Think about, how did your childhood shape the person that you are now? How are the traumatic experiences shaping you? COVID-19, how is shaping you? The wars, fortunately, abatali mu war, naye bwe wali eyayita mu war nganze, the last war, civil war in Uganda, how did that shape your mind? Kyakola kitya obwongo bwo, ki ky'okyajjukira? The trauma of the epidemic of HIV/AIDS, how did that leave some of us? How do we think about health? Kubanga ekintu kya HIV, I'm sure buli family yali eri impacted by that. I remember as a child, as a maybe 8-10-year-old, I remember very well, Ntino, there was death all the time in the family at some point. So maybe nze kyandeka Ntino, I really don't maybe see death as, oh my goodness, a food day. Nay, is that normal that I think that way or I react that way? Maybe it's the things I was exposed to, my environment. Yangumyo mutima nebanga, you know, sicha. I don't. It's not shakeable. I don't shake because of death. What do we do then to make sure that we bring everything that, or at least most of the things from the subconscious mind into the conscious, so that tubeereba peak performance, so that tugende mu UFCC mu Uganda ekyuse nga tuli confident people, and the things that have happened, the history of our plight for the past 50 years, it does not repeat itself. Kubanga gwe ng'omuntu oli confident, omanyi ki ekintu ekyakukyusa obwongo nekikulowooza nti no, this is a normal thing. Like I say, human beings to be creatures of habit. We do the same things all the time. How can you look into your habits or collate something different? Think about how can you do something a little bit different from what you do. What we are is dependent on what we think. Charles Hanno says, what we are is dependent on what we think. So fena we tuba tugamba tuli Christian, tuli Basilamu, tuli very spiritual people, tuli, you know, tusinza Katonda. If oba Katonda yagamba nti no, we are made in his image, and God is supposed to be supreme, and God is supposed to be nga akola miracles, then why do you think that you are substandard, that you are not made for, you know, for amazing things? Why do you think ntino tekisoboka ku UNN or UFCC to liberate Uganda? Lwaki olowooza nti gwe toyina mukono mu kintu kye tusobola okukyusa Uganda yaffe neba nga it's back to us? We live in a society which is conscious of what they're doing, conscious in our neighbors. What does my neighbor think? Not necessarily until you want approval from the people around you. No. Sichengamba, you don't need approval. Gwe ng'omuntu ki ky'osobola okukyusa mu bulamu bwo ekigenda okulowoozesa mu ndowooza endala etali eno gy'olowoolezaamu, contributing to the plight of the Ugandan community society right now. So if we move on, producer waffe. Okay, nga bwe mbadde mbagamba kino tukiyiseemu the unconscious mind. The conscious mind is the small amount of mental activity we know about. The subconscious, things we could be aware of, we wanted to or tried. Unconscious, things we are unaware of and cannot become aware of. Ate ebyo byonna bijjamu, so the thoughts, our thoughts and perceptions. The conscious is about how do we see the world? How do we see the environment we live in? Bw'obanga olaba nti no ebanaye Uganda tuli bubi naye okozeewo ky'ojja kusigala mu Uganda tuli bubi nga tolina ky'okozeewo, oba bw'oba ogamba, kubanga kino nagambye it's about the self, us, you as a person. Bw'oba ogamba nti nze ng'omuntu bannange obwavu bunzita, bannange siina mulimo guno, bannange simanyi kwogera luzungu. Sigambye nti no luzungu ye the best good language that we need to know, but what I'm saying is that it's, as we know, it's a national language gye tusomera mu Uganda. So bwe tuba kyekyo kye tukola, then tuyina okuyiga olulimi olwo tusobole okuba nti no, we stand up in front of everyone and be able to communicate the best way that everyone can understand. Buli omu waasobola okutegeerera. sigambye nti nno oluzungu lw'olina okuyiga naye mpa example just, so please don't shoot me. So memories zaffe ziri stored mu subconscious mind, which is the 90%. Twetaaga, and some of them actually they can be in our conscious mind, naye nga subconscious mind eno gye njagala mubeereko muteekeko essira nti eno is the most important. We need to bring things from our subconscious into the conscious so that we can better understand, why is my life turning out the way it is? Why is my society turning out the way it is? So kubanga nzikiriza mu muntu omu nganze omuntu okukyusa empisa zange, okukyusa endowooza yange, as imagine as a collective buli omu nga atekinze the responsibility okukyusa endowooza ye, okukyusa bwakola ebintu, what a force we could be in improving our situation, our country, our neighborhood, our locality, our family environment. So ebintu nga fear, unacceptable, sexual desires, I'm not going to go into that, violent motives, irrational wishes, immoral urges, selfish needs, shameful experiences, traumatic experiences, they make up a big chunk of our subconscious. Atenga, we need to tap into our subconscious, make sure those things are no more there. Fear, yet stopping Ogaman, we stand up to the oppressor. So bwetujawo fear, what is left? Love and confidence, and you're able to take action. If we move on, please. So like your thoughts and belief systems make up the software that runs your life. The way you experience the world around you is a reflection of your inner belief system. Tunula around you. Ani akugamba nti no kati kwata ennyonyi, let's say ogende somewhere else. Kubange environment ebadde eforcinze okulowooza nti no you're only good for being something else. For instance, you're only ba housemaids mujja kunsonyiwa naye, that's the example I can think of now. Only good to just go and be a maid. It's not a bad thing if that is your real chosen path. Naye mwenna abali, I'm sure muli bayigirize nnyo, and not because you went to class necessarily, ne mulina amagezi ge babazaala nago. Aga amagezi gakukkiriza okuba nti, gakusobozesa okuba nti no walowooza n'okulowooza n'opanga ebintu byo n'ogenda gy'ogenda osobola okufuna emirimu. Naye ate aga amagezi bw'ogakozesa n'ogagattako n'osigala w'oli mu nsi yo, toyina na kubeginga. We have enough to go around. But unfortunately, our environment, it causes a culture yaffe sometimes limiting in what we can do next or what we need to do with our lives, because omuntu neighbor agambye or abo abaana bali bwe bati ne ba influencing abazadde bo ne bakola something that they shouldn't. Ate ne bazadde bo ne bakusomesa ekintu kye babasomesa, sigamba nti kituufu naye kubanga nabo balina limiting beliefs ezo okuva mu bazadde baabwe, kubanga we don't understand the power of our mind. So producer, yes please. So like I said before, Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory of personality suggests the conscious mind consists of everything inside of our awareness. This is the aspect of our mental processing that we think and talk about in a rational way. Byebintu byetulaba wano, perceptions, endowooza yaffe. I think I explained that in detail, so we can move on. Producer, please. And again, this one I have, sort of talked about it in detail. Producer, we can move on. So kati eno quote nagiresewo nga njagala bagamba nti you're not alone. We are not alone. I am not alone. You are not alone. Your life is not broken. You are not broken. You just haven't made the shift yet. Nga togendera ku bintu bye bagamba nti oyo omwana yayonooneka, oyo omwana mubi, oyo naye okola bukozi kintu kye bakuexposingako, environment yo kye yakulaga kyokola. Naye kati nga bw'omanyi nti nno osobola okukyusa endowooza yo, n'okola ekintu ekiri different, that there is a possibility nti you can actually tap into your subconscious mind, n'ovaayo n'olowooza something different to improve your life. How can you improve your life? How can you go to the next level of high performance? Producer, please. Next slide. So nze ngamba bwe nti, I propose nti no, you do some self-realization, self-discovery. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to start, at least, starting to improve on the things that you do that are of habit? Byosobola okukyusamu n'ogamba kati kanjige something else. Do you know what it is you want from life? Sooka owandiike, funa olupapula, ekitabo, owandiike, okole inventory about your life. Do I know what it is I want from life? Nga bwentadde wano, it's body, mind, and spirit. Omubiri gwange oba ebintu bye nnina. Do I need everything that I have? All these material things that I have around me? Oba it's baggage? Oba ziri baggage really out for you? If so, do you have a plan on how you will achieve them? Oyina plan gy'otadde mu nkola nti bino ebintu bwe biti, kino sikyagala mu bulamu bwange, kino sikyagala, health yange sinungi, mindset yange, health I mean physical and psychological, sinungi, ngenda gikyusa ntya? Bwe mba nti no, in this spiritual person, how can I improve on my spiritual well-being? How can I improve on my health well-being, on my physical and my mindset, or my psychological well-being? If not, why not? Oba ebintu ebirala byonna osobola ogenda mujjukira mu class nga ogenda teacher ayogera n'owandiika buli kimu ng'oyagala kukopa buli kimu. Lwaki ekyo tosobola kiteeka mu bulamu bwo n'ogamba nti obulamu bwange nange ngenda kukwata ekitabo mwempandiika ebintu byange? Bw'oba okikola well and good, perfect. And maybe you could come on here and, also, let us learn something from you. What do you do different in your life that has provided you with success? And please, 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 let's not put success to be about money and accumulating material things. That is not the definition of success. Because abantu abamu bayinza okuba very contented mu kasiisira wali ng'ayina just the basics, but they're happy because they are living in nature. Omulala agenda kuba yayagala kubeera mu mpuku. If that's the case, omulala ye agenda okuba ng'ayagala kubeera wa? Ayagala kubeera mu mansion. But it doesn't make you less of a person. Don't let anybody look down on you kubanga ye avuga BMW and you're on the bus. I can happily say I don't drive and I'm okay with it. Sivuga motoka and I'm okay with it. I take my bus. What is wrong with that? Nechi kyogenda okunsingako mu bwongo, ogenda kujja mu bwongo bwange, oyina kyogenda okujonzijeko. Material things can perish anytime. So if our society, bwe tubanga ffe as a people, empisa zaffe tusobola okusooka okwejjamu ekintu ekya okuba nti no you measure success kubanga of things people have, material things that people have, then we have a long, long way. And I've observed this. Nkirabye Uganda ogenda nti omuntu ali mu BMW oba ali mu motoka Range Rover oba ali mu gundi owakagaali yet si muntu talina. In fact, Uganda ye best example kubanga omuntu ali ku luguudo atambula ye tebamukoledde pavement kwatambulira kubanga you've defined them as if they don't matter, they're not citizens. That's how we're treating each other. That's how balida abali mu office kati we were treating her. That's how we've allowed them to do that. Because you know why? Our mindset allowing the stupidity, the silliness that goes on in our government, the leaders that we have. To treat us like garbage, or to treat the majority Ugandan like garbage, that someone does not deserve to walk on a good pavement, someone does not deserve a good road, someone does not deserve a bus service, a public service, and everybody needs to afford a car. Are you kidding me? Nyate, guess what? It's almost like kwekuba mu ndobo kubanga ogamba nti no buli omu alina affording a car. Look at the pollution ne jam eri Uganda. Is that good for our health? What health is wealth? Bwe tuba tetuli healthy ate what is the point of everything else? What is the point of having money? Having the things, houses, mansions, no, olina zimba 20 rooms house, what is it for? But anyway, that's a personal choice. But my opinion is, what is it for really? If your health is not well looked after physically, psychologically, Atenga, remember, your mindset is so powerful. Your mind is so powerful. Ntino, if your mind is unwell, your physical health is definitely going to be unwell. We become what we think about most of the time. So if we brought our subconscious, the things that are in our subconscious that limit us to be peak performers, how are we going to change our life? What are we going to do to be able to change those things to improve on our life? Nga bwe nabagambye, obulamu bwo kyentegeeza obulamu bwo buli about your family, omulimo, your relationships, your political affiliation, whatever you decide. So by introducing a video kano njagala muwulirize how it's really important, you know, what one person says about Ugandan or us as a people. Thank you.
You're more politics of succession, more than strategizing. Because we are looking for art. I'm telling you, in Kenya, we have that issue of merry-go-round. When people come together, they pool their resources, and every month or every week, they'll come and put some money together and help one of them to improve their business. And then next month, they put the same money together and help one another. And these are things, that's the foundation for table banking, where people come together. You bring there's 50 of you. Every month, you bring 1,000 shillings. And by that 50,000 you give to one person to boost their business. Next month, you boost another business. The other month, within 2 years, everybody's business has been boosted. And that is the method you'll find other communities are doing. Many times you'll find in Kenya we are complaining that the Somali community are taking over lots of businesses. It's just a matter of strategy. Strategy. Because the rest of us, we are not strategic in our thinking. No, we are very political. Everything we look at, and we are more interested in politics of 2022 more than anything else. But the Somali community, whatever happens 2022, they know they shall either be number 2 or 3. Because they have strategized. But the rest of us, we have all our eggs in one basket. So we are looking at this man or this woman and all that. But look at the way they've come in, how they are taking business. And you may think, oh, they are stealing money. They are not. They are pooling resources. And then they open a business for one person. And they are telling him, as you do that business, we are still in the same group. Let's pool resources. Open the same petrol station for another person. Open the same M-Pesa for another person. Open the same a similar restaurant for another person. Let's open another restaurant in Kisumu, in Kericho, in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in Tuandei. And they are all over. While the rest of us, we are thinking of more politics of succession, more than strategizing. Because we are looking for handouts from politicians. How have they benefited? Merry-go-round. So that's why you go, you find some of the best restaurants belong to that community now. And they are like newcomers in business, but they came thinking, what are the legitimate ways of making money? So they invest for one person. They invest and encourage. Someone made me laugh, and this is a true story. You'll find some of the other communities, you'll find that when we want to go business in Dubai or China or Turkey, you'll find the whole aeroplane is full of people from the same community traveling to go to Turkey, to buy same things, go to China, bring the same goods, to come and try and sell. But how much will you bring? You are going to bring either 2, 3 suitcases or 5 suitcases. But that community, they don't operate like that. Instead of buying 25 air tickets, they buy only 1. Instead of paying 25 hotel rooms, they pay for only 1 hotel room. Why? They give one of them all that money with a list. This is what I want from my money. And they walk in integrity. And this is the important thing. When you're in a merry-go-round, you're in a chama, please walk in integrity. Because some of us, if you sit in a chama with others and they give you their money, you change your telephone number. Shindwe, the Bohora community. You look at the way they do business, the Patels and the Shahs and the Somali community. They support one another in merry-go-rounds. They lend one another money because that's cheap money. How can you compete with those communities when they have come together in a merry-go-round? That's another legitimate way of making money. And I'm challenging you Christians, come up with merry-go-rounds of brothers and sisters where you can operate in integrity and honesty and stop cheating one another and robbing one another. It's very sad when some of these communities comment about us, oh, there's no stealing here because there are no Christians here. It is sad. It should not be spoken of in our community. I'm telling you, in Kenya, we have had that issue of...
Welcome back, welcome back. Mwenaba tulaba once again, mbebaza okuba nti no muli ku UNN. Of course, ngabo mmanyi nti no twatandika UFCC. Please visit the website, eri UFCC, www.ufcc.uk. Familiarize yourself with the website content. Obeere ng'osobola okumanya federal system yeki, what we propose here ku UNN. Era njagala okubaagaliza a really new way of thinking. I just propose to have a new way of thinking. How about we think a little bit differently from how we're thinking now? So to conclude our show, mbebaza nnyo naye njagala to leave you with a call to action. I'm not going to leave without, I love call to actions, kubanga nze ndowooza. We need just number 1, call to action. where we were before. Slide yaffe ebaddeko before gye twagala. Slide 12. Yes. Njagala tugenda kuddamu, ngenda kubeera wano every Friday. Mutusonyiwe ku time, naye I'm doing my best to respect your time okuba nti muli naffe buli lunaku ababeera naffe buli lunaku UNN. So I do not want to disrespect your time because I know it's very important. So njagala tugende next weekend tubenga tusobola okukomawo okuteesa what did you do, how did you discover a little bit about yourself that you didn't want to remember, or maybe that you did not know about yourself. So take an inventory, stock. Nga bw'olaba bwobwe mbe tubeera mu maduuka n'obala ebintu no bye mubala bisobola okuperishinga. Naye lwaki tosobola ku taking an inventory about your life, about your mindset, okuyulwa obwongo ne bubanga no busobola okuwa much more peace and content in life than what you're currently having. So what does my life look like now? What do I need to look? What do I need it to look like tomorrow, in a year's time, 5 years' time, and how can I change it? Number one call to action, tugenda through the call to actions in the next couple of weeks. So to really understand how our conscious and subconscious or unconscious mind impacts on the things that we do every day. So be intentional about what you are currently doing, your entire way of life. Really, if you want the best change for Uganda, you need to first of all change yourself. Togenda kufuna a different Uganda, what you yearn for, what you love, what you want to enjoy in. Abana bona ube enjoying the way until we change the way we think about the things we do. So be brutally honest. Vera kwegambo ekintu kyonna okijjeyo kubanga it's something which is personal to you. You can write it down. You don't have to change it. Tolina kubigamba muntu mulala. Bino byamabyo naye ng'oyagala kweyubula owejjeko omugugu gwonna gw'olina ogukuleetera fear, ogukuleetera limiting beliefs, ogukuleetera okulowooza nti you're not good enough. You are more than you think you are. You are good enough the way you are because God created you in his image. So what a beautiful thing to think you are just enough the way you are. All you just need is tweak a little bit of the things that you're currently doing so that you can think anew, have new perspectives on life. Don't think the same way. It's madness to think until ogenda kukola the same things all the time. Ngabo wakola mu January, ogenda kukola mu December. To be different, to think differently, to have change in Uganda. Hell no, it's not going to happen. Nebo boya galotya, nebo boy na emotions ze ofa oyinzo kabo okolachi obere mbuliri for years and nothing is going to change. Nothing. So be intentional about what you are currently doing with your entire way of life. Think differently. Obaddo ogula ebintu mu dduuka all the time. Lwaki ebimu togamba nti nyina ettaka wano kangende nkole ki nime ku bintu ebimu byenkola. Be brutally honest. Ebintu biwandiike ogambe health yange egambe etya, relationships zange zigamba zitya. Nyina abantu bendeeta mu bulamu bwange ababeera all the time bayina negative energy. Tebanjagaliza. Obanze buli kiseera I go over and above what they want, but they never do anything for me. What is it that I can do to remove those limiting beliefs, those limiting people out of my life? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do that in the federal system. We're trying to do that in this revolution. We're removing the things that are limiting us to be the best versions of ourselves. Wealth is not about you having money. Paper, that is paper. It's nothing. So you can have 10,000 in the bank. If you don't know what to do with it, forget it. You can have billions in the bank. If you don't know what to do with it, it is meaningless. Why? Your mind, your mindset. Your career, oyagala kubeera what you are more than what you are now. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? Olowooza nti nedda nze tewali ajja ku approvinga oba tewali agenda kuŋŋamba nti no nkikoze bulungi. Who cares? You don't need to be perfect. You need to start now, not tomorrow, now. Why are you doing it? Is it serving you or is it limiting you? Laba omaze okutekinga inventory about your whole life in a holistic way. No gamba nti kati kino kinyamba oba tekinyamba, kinzimba oba tekinzimba. Okuwuliriza ebintu ebirala byempuliza ebimbeeza mu negative energy all the time. Binzimba oba tebinzimba oba bindigressinga. It's making me go away from the path I want to go. I know this is my path. Focus on your path. That's it. What are you going to do about it to change it? Like I said, we're going to go through these call to actions in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll be done in probably week 3 or week 2, in fact, the next week. How are you going to achieve it? Self-actualization. Do you need counseling? Go for it. So that you can remove yourself all the baggage that you have. Is a limiting ane yakuvuma, who abused you, who vandalized you mentally? Who do you hold grudges with? So you can completely rebrand yourself, reinvent yourself, and be anew. Why not? Why not? One food for thought. You are not alone. I have been there. I was that 18-year-old who traveled to UK to join her mom, and that 18-year-old had no confidence. That 18-year-old could not come on Facebook. I didn't like Facebook until maybe a year ago when I done a revolution. Not really. But I am here because I think waliwo omuntu agenda okukyusibwa ku kintu kyengamba wano. There's one person up there amanyi nti no kyenjogerako. It's important for our revolution. If we are going to change the revolution, as I conclude, let us revolutionize our mind. So, welcome to the Revolutionary Spa. I am Sophia Sebi, your host, and I hope that you've learned one thing or two. Tetugenda kuba masimu today, naye ndo I'm hoping tino jebujja tujja kuba tuli ku masimu nga tuteesa really ebintu byemulaba byemuyisemu na fenna bye tuyisemu ebisobola okukyusa omuntu eggwanga lyaffe, okukyusa omuganda kamu gwe muganda. And that's why it's important for me okuba nti no, it's about self-purposeful action. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we are on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Twina UNN Times. Congratulations, banange. Abali mu byuma, thank you so much. Abali all the the effort of the UNN team. Thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you, especially the producer. Thank you for today. Peace. May God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Join me as I say these words. I want you to really listen. I want you to really take them all in, word by word, sentence by sentence. I want you to listen. Just for humanity's sake, we must speak up and speak out. Just for humanity's sake. How dare you think this is about Bobi Wine? How dare you think this is about Chagulanyi? How dare you think it is about NUP supporters? How dare you? You frequent your churches, drive your flashy cars, get in your picket-fenced mansions, want the best seat at table. How dare you? What use are you to society if not for society? What use are you to society if not for mankind? What use is Mama Uganda when its very heart, soul and existence is being destroyed? The youth. What use is Mama Uganda when its mothers are being undressed, raped, humiliated, devastated, driven to absolute horror and hopelessness? Watching their children's bodies being stripped of all humanity. I mean the strips on their back, the strips all over their dark skin, chocolate skin. How can you sleep at night when Uganda's sons and daughters are being abducted, raped, tortured, murdered, traumatized, wrongfully imprisoned for standing up, speaking out and speaking up for the truth and basic human rights, whilst exercising the legal duty in accordance to Article 3 of Uganda's constitution? If not for Mama Uganda, then where would you be? How dare you keep silent? Speak out and speak up. If not for Bobi Wine, NUP National Unity Platform, yourself, at least for just humanity's sake, we must continue to be resolute and focused to speak up and speak out for those with no voice despite the fear, torture and intimidation. A lot of diversions will always be there due to the dictatorial leaderships. My brothers and sisters, I call upon you, fear not. Every Ugandan life matters. Hashtag, I am not a spectator. Hashtag, we are removing a dictator. Thank you.